When will automation get rid of your job? Well, some studies suggest that 50% of all jobs today will be automated in the next 10 years, so you may have something to worry about there. But that's not the question I'm discussing in this video. I'm talking about when will automation get rid of all jobs entirely, and all labor is done by machines and computers. When will automation get rid of all jobs? That's an interesting question, and I thought I'd speculate about the topic. The presidential candidate Andrew Yang has been in the news with his universal basic income proposal. The candidate says it's necessary because of the future elimination of all jobs through automation. This is the main reason the topic is receiving so much attention recently. Yang has brought this discussion to the forefront of our minds, therefore I decided to give my thoughts on this issue. I do think we will reach a point in the future when all work is done by machines and other automated processes, eliminating demand for human labor and employment. Before I discuss my speculation for when this shift will take place, it would be good to describe what the world would look like in the run-up to this transition, and why increasing automation will have the effect it has before demand for human labor is completely replaced. The main source of value for anything is scarcity. Though supply for many important raw materials is scarce, the main limiting factor toward production is the supply of human labor. A world where that is no longer a limiting factor would be a world with much higher production and much lower prices. When we pay for something, we're paying for the scarcity value of diverting limited resources away from other uses toward producing the thing we want. If there were no scarcity value for the resources, and supply available exceeded the demand, then the price of something would fall to zero. In the run-up to this, say, singularity, the prices of goods would get cheaper and cheaper, and wages would get higher and higher, until whole human demand is satiated. When productivity is increased, the lower prices are passed on to consumers, and demand is freed up for other goods and new uses. We then make more with the same amount of resources, instead of making the same amount with fewer resources. I talked about this in my previous Marxism video, around 609. So production would be increased using the same demand for human labor, until humans reach the point of satiation, and there is nothing more they want to consume. It would only be at that point that continued increases in productivity would lead to the elimination of demand for human labor rather than increased production. When would people reach the point where all their demands for anything are satiated and they demand no additional economic creation? For the sake of argument in this video, I'm going to guess that point is around 200,000 per year for a household of 5 people. I'm assuming that at that point humans would be satiated in their demands for goods and services, and there won't be much more humans would want after that point. Making that assumption, the automation of human labor to the point that demand for labor is eliminated should not begin to happen until after that point. Right now, GDP per capita in the United States is around 60,000 per year. Based on past economic performance, I will assume that there will be a 2.5% per capita growth rate in the future. Assuming a 2.5% growth in per capita income per year, GDP per capita will reach 200,000 in 50 years. So the elimination of all jobs by automation won't happen until over 50 years in the future. Before the elimination of jobs via automation, we will reach a point where the typical income is 200,000 a year. Of course, I'm assuming the approximate rate of economic growth we've seen over the last 30 years will continue. If new trends and new technology suddenly increase the rate of economic growth, then the process will happen sooner. However, if the economy continues to grow around the rate it has, then the elimination of jobs via automation won't begin to happen for another 50 years. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. Please leave your thoughts in the comments and share this video with anyone you can think of.